Our next presenter is Mi Mao? Moa. Thank you. Thank you, Mi. Oh, yeah, we met Mi Moa. I'm sorry about that. She is the President and Executive Director of Asian Americans Advancing Justice, where she leads efforts to advocate for policies and programs that enable Asian Americans and other vulnerable communities to reach their full potential. And just so you know, I looked this up, called around and did some research, and they tell me that you have the insight of Maya Angelou and the compassion of Marion Wright Edelman. Please welcome Mia Mao.
Wow. At the risk of outing myself, I am actually a poor replacement for Congressman Mike Honda tonight. Obviously, as Congressman Gutierrez had to leave very quickly, Congressman Mike Honda couldn't be here. And it is the right time and the right opportunity, and I knew you would do the research when I got the phone call to come in and be the replacement presenter. It is a tremendous honor for me to be here tonight. I think I got the call because a lot of people know that Lisa Hasegawa is a great friend of mine. I am so honored and so privileged to be presenting the Asset Builder Champion Award to my personal friend. She is the current Executive Director of National Capacity. She has been at the helm of National Capacity over so many years, and in that capacity, she has grown the organization from 16 founding organizations in 1999 to over 100 member organizations from across the country, including Hawaii and Guam. Lisa truly believes that local voices should have a national influence, and through National Capacity, she brings the unique, on-the-ground perspective to DC through the voices of her member organizations who are experts in their field and understand the needs, barriers, and solutions in their communities. During the housing crisis, National Capacity, through Lisa's leadership, realized a gap in linguistic and culturally relevant services for AAPIs and decided to address this gap head-on by developing a housing counseling network in 2009 that now includes about 20 community-based organizations providing housing counseling services in 30 different languages and in 16 geographic areas across the country. National Capacity also held the first ever election eve poll of AAPI voters to better understand the profile and preferences of AAPIs. These efforts increased the visibility within the mainstream media about the importance of the AAPI vote. Over the years, National Capacity has shed light on the realities of the needs and barriers of AAPI communities, breaking the myth of AAPIs as model minorities and as a successful community through its many, many groundbreaking reports over the years that have highlights, among other things, that AAPIs are the fastest growing poverty population in the wake of the recession. The continued financial vulnerability of AAPIs and the wealth gap and the barriers to asset building from AAPIs is real and is continuing. But Lisa's reach and influence goes well beyond the AAPI community. With all the bridges she has built and the national coalitions that she has fostered, Lisa is a national voice who has continued to push for racial and social justice, both for the Asian American community, but she is most often right in that sweet spot at the intersectionality of how to improve circumstances for all vulnerable communities in this country. I know Lisa well, and I know her work because I represent the communities that are the direct beneficiaries to Lisa's troublemaking. It takes people like Lisa to make it possible to transform our future, to make it possible for a refugee kid like me from the mountains of Laos to believe that it is possible to dream of a future beyond the next 3 growing seasons, to dare to dream of a future that could span the next 3 generations. Please help me welcome my friend, Lisa Hasegawa.
Thank you all so much for this honor. Because Mimua was so great to back up Congressman Honda, I have to tell you a little bit about my friend Mimua. She's actually a state senator, was a state senator from Minnesota, and was one of the first Hmong elected officials in the country, and so she's been a leader in her own right, and it's been great to have her here in Washington, D.C. to troublemaker together. So thank you. I really appreciate it, me, for you being here tonight. I wanted to just thank GPS and Insight. I feel like really this whole room is full of my friends and family, folks who've been walking the path with National Capacity as we've done our work on closing the racial wealth gap, and a lot of the research and the programmatic work that we've done has really been inspired, and as much, I think our analysis is much sharper because so many of you have been great partners in this room. Couple of legacy folks. I just have to do a shout out to Meiju Louis, who was actually the first director of this effort, and I really think that Meiju, when you really kicked off this work so many years ago, you being the lead of that as an Asian American immigrant woman was very inspiring to me, and I think has ensured that Asian American women and API issues have been really a part of this conversation. And I used to be Meiju's intern when I was a college student, so it's gone back that long. So really, I stand on your shoulders, and I really wanted to recognize you and appreciate you. And again, to all the folks at Insight and Maya, particularly at GPS, I just really love working with you, and we do lots of troublemaking throughout the year here in Washington, D.C., so thank you for your partnership. And Roger and Henry, it's been really wonderful to work with Insight. I stand here today to accept this award. I'm a public health person by trade. I didn't know a lot about housing, community, and economic development. I have had to learn it. As Meiju used to be at Healthcare for All, I've really walked the path together with so many folks. And on the National Capacity team, I really have to say this name, even though she's not with us here tonight. Jane Dung is the director of our program and director of program and advocacy, and she's been part of Econ. And I just wanted to say, I can't see you all because the light is in my eyes, but the capacity team, I think many folks are here, there. Rosita Choi is our deputy director. We have, I think, Seamus Agnani is our new policy director. Melvin, Tavila, Soyanya, all of you guys are part of the capacity team, and I just thank you for all coming tonight. I just wanted to say a little bit about myself and what brings me here to this work, tell you a teeny bit about National Capacity, and then just end with, since I'm the last, I'll try to make it short and bring us home. So about, my personal story, I feel like federal policy, I think, people sometimes, when you're not in Washington, D.C., don't understand the connection between policy and wealth. And I am here to say, as a grandchild of people who were interned during World War II, we essentially lost all of our property. And so if my family still owned what was our strawberry farms in what is now Irvine, California, I can tell you that I would be in a very different position today in terms of my own personal wealth. So the strawberry farms, that's my grandparents on one side, strawberry farms, other side, garment workers on my mother's side. And they built some wealth, they built some assets, and essentially they were put back because of federal policies, right? So I feel like I understand that very deeply, and so since this opportunity with National Capacity, we've really been able to shed a light, not only on Japanese American communities and some of the history there, but certainly with Southeast Asians, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, the importance of disaggregating that data and really understanding that we are not the model minority, and that really that is used as a tool so often not to lift up Asian Americans, but really to denigrate other communities of color. And so I really feel that it's so important that national capacity is a part of a network like this so that we can really stand together. Our communities need to understand that we have skin in the game here, that our communities need our voices, that there are 2 million Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that are living in poverty. Mimua referenced the fact that, you know, and so many of the researchers in this room have also given light to this, but 54% of Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders' wealth was lost in the wake of the recession. So they are very real issues, you know, for our communities. And I think that even people in our own community don't really understand that deeply. So I just really appreciate all of you. A little bit about national capacities work. In this area, we have launched lending circles, and we've been doing micro-enterprise work. Yes, we've been doing the housing counseling work, but that was very much drawn, sort of built as a crisis, like a response to the foreclosure crisis. And now I think that we're really trying to put in place all of the infrastructure that really should have been in place for the diverse Asian American and Pacific Islander low-income communities that really is more around wealth and asset building and just a much broader frame. So we have our housing counseling network. We're also doing lending circles around the country and partnering with so many of you in the room. So that's a little bit about our work. And yes, we have over 100 awesome organizations on the ground. Happy to share more about their work and to connect all of you in this room with them. So, you know, again, I'll just end on a personal note. I think that, you know, I think about my own situation now, and, you know, I'm in the age where I'm like, okay, I've got 15 years left, you know, 20 years left maybe to retirement. And I have to say that, you know, I've been feeling it very personally with the Affordable Care Act that is covering now my brothers with expanded Medicaid, Medicare, you know, helping out my grandmother. If those kinds of systems were not in place for my own family, I wouldn't be able to save for retirement. I think that, you know, it's so important that we make the connections to our daily lives as opposed to them just being sort of policies that we talk about. So I was thinking a lot about, okay, how can I make this more personal? And so, you know, I have been really blessed to work with so many of you in the room, and just honored to have received this on behalf of Capacity. Thank you all very much.